Let's go. Valgavoth reigns supreme. Get that ghost vacuum out of here, son. We're not playing Luigi's Mansion. We're living in Valgavoth's world, baby. Let's go. Alright, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at this Golgari Duskmourn Reanimator deck in Standard. This is a deck I've been having a lot of fun with, so I kind of want to go over some of the changes and the things that I've made along the way of my brewing journey. This is really a deck that's gotten me back into Constructed, and I think it's very fun. And actually, after watching the World Championship, I think it plays very well if people are playing decks you would want to bring to the World Championship, because the best matchups for this deck are the mid-range decks, which load up their deck with a bunch of removal, because our deck is very difficult to interact with, and that's the main reason why I enjoy it so much. So let's go ahead and hop into the deck profile. So first off, a card that I think has fundamentally changed my original build is Main Deck Duress. I already felt like after playing like several games that this might just be the best card in the format, but after watching it at the World Championship, I feel like this card is just necessary in pretty much any deck that's like not aggro, because it just disrupts everything. And like even against the most popular aggro deck right now, which I believe is the Prowess Gruul deck, you can still get rid of their stuff that triggers their prowess. And that's exceptionally well if you go against the version that's playing the Ley Line of Resonance. And we're going to be playing best of 3, so that could be very applicable. But overall, the main goal of this deck is to get out one of my favorite cards from the new set, Valgavoth Terror Eater. This is a 9/9 with flying lifelink ward. Sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. Valgavoth Terror Eater is very good in a meta where we have a lot of people who are playing cut down and go for the throat. Basically, anything that targets this card is going to cause them to just lose the game on the spot, because being forced to sacrifice 3 permanents is just so much of a cost. And oftentimes with these heavy removal mid-range decks, they may not even have enough permanents on the board to interact with this, which ultimately leads to a game-ending scenario. And as well, if they use any cards while this is on the field and they're sent to the graveyard, I exile them underneath this card, and then we can replay them during our turn by paying life instead of their respective mana cost, which is actually very nice when paired with the removal in our deck, because we could reanimate this card and then use one of our Bitter Triumph or something and then just kill their creature and replay it with our health instead of our mana. And that's really good because this guy is lifelink. So typically, I'm trying to get out the Valgavoth, but we also have a couple other cards that we can be reanimating. One of note is the Ultinac Thrice Called. I play this in more than one copy, and I think you could, but I kind of just want to minimize the amount of bricks in the deck, because this deck is very good at going through our entire deck very quickly if our opponent lets us. And so I kind of want to just cut down on this card, because more often than not, you want to be summoning this from our Say Its Name, which can exile 3 copies of itself from the graveyard to find an Ultinac anywhere in your deck, hand, or grave, and put it on the battlefield for free. And so for that reason, this guy isn't as much of a focus, and because he can be found anywhere, there's really no reason, in my opinion, to run more than one copy. Also, just in this current field of like black interaction, I think this just isn't the greatest payoff for reanimation, because you don't get any value up front. But what is really strong about this deck is if you can reanimate something and then also use a Say Its Name to get a Ultinac for free in the same turn, it makes it really difficult for the other player to answer your board. And then we also have a main deck copy of Harvester of Misery. This was a couple things before I put this in. Previously, it was a copy of Terror Tide, or as well a copy of Deadly Cover-Up, 2 just AoE removal spells. And I decided to swap them out for this guy because he's a creature, and it's more easily accessible for us to get the creature since we can buy it back from the grave. And really, if you are looking for an AoE, in most of the matchups in this format, I found that you don't really need an AoE that goes above -2/-2, because if they have bigger creatures and they're playing a tall game, you're probably going to be able to answer that field with a Valgavoth Terror Eater. So I just felt like this card was pretty good. And also versus the aggro decks, the discard effect is pretty nice as well. I've added it back to hand and just reused that effect several times, and that's won me the game several ways. And then we also have 2 copies of the Swarm Weaver. So the Swarm Weaver is actually very nice, I found, because he does not die to go for the throat because he is an artifact. And that's randomly relevant in a format where basically no one else has artifact creatures. So the fact that this guy just gives you upfront value to where if they kill it, you still get bodies that can chump block and slow down the game. And then if they have go for the throats, those are just dead as well. Really makes this card an awesome inclusion. And I think I might consider side decking another copy just because it's so good against the go wide aggro decks in this format. And those are pretty prevalent, at least on Arena. But yeah, this guy is awesome. And one of the things that's more easy to get out of the grave. And then after that, we have our reanimation package, which is 4 Valgavoth Faithful and 2 Squirming Emergence. The reason I only play 2 of this card is because it can kind of brick. And very often, you really just only want access to one of these, and it is tutorable. Whereas the Valgavoth Faithful creates a loop to be able to continuously reuse his effect, and it just synergizes with our deck overall way more. But Squirming Emergence is really clutch sometimes because, you know, in order to trigger this effect, most likely you're going to be spending 5 mana and not 4, because if you leave this on the battlefield, our deck just doesn't have really any good targets other than this guy for them to use their interaction on, so it's most likely going to die before you get back to your turn. So I always just think of this card as a 5 mana reanimate, where this one is 3. But obviously you have to be able to load the grave with this card in order for it to be relevant, which means you really don't want to see this until the late game, or you just want to tutor it whenever you need it. And so I think there's no reason to run more than 2 copies in my humble opinion. And then also the main way that we get our deck online is we have 11 total cards that fill up our graveyard for Overlord of the Baelmerk. This card is an MVP. I think, honestly, the best play in this deck is going to be turn 2 impend this card, just because it is a mill 4 effect, which is the highest number of cards that we can mill in standard, and as well we just get a free game object later, and it's also 2 types for Delirium. And overall, this card is one of the reasons why this deck is playable, because we can create a loop between Overlord of the Baelmerk and Valgavoth Faithful, to where if you don't have a Terror Eater in the grave yet, you can just use Faithful to buy back the Overlord, mill some more cards, try to dig deeper to your Terror Eater, and then you just add back the Faithful to your hand off the Overlord, they kill it, and you keep doing it over and over again, or just have multiple copies of this in the grave. Either way, this is just such a nice advantage loop, and one of the key components to the deck. And then we also have 4 Say Its Name. I already called out the interaction between this and Altanac, but this one is really, really nice because it can add back any land from the graveyard to the hand. A lot of times in this deck, if you aren't hitting an untapped land on turn 4, turn 5, it means you aren't going to be able to reanimate that turn, and if you miss that, you're going to lose the game on the spot. So I feel like this one and the Overlord are just overall better than Cash Grab, and that's why I'm only running 3. Because I wanted to have more utility spots in the deck for cards like Duress that allows to slow down the other player in the early game when we may not have many game actions. And when I did the math in a hypergeometric calculator, it's actually a 78% chance for you to open any one of these 11 cards. And if you play a 12th card, like a 4th Cash Grab, it just increases to 80%, which I found very negligible because drawing multiple of these cards sometimes can really clump up your hand. Because you might need to be spending mana to interact with the other player and not be able to afford to play the second one. So there's kind of a depreciating cost with drawing like multiple of these. And that's why I decided to run 3 Cash Grab, because as I noted with the Say Its Name, this card, although it mills one more card than Say Its Name, and you can add back any permanent card, not just creature or not just land creature, this one only lets you add back among the 4 cards that you mill, and that can actually be pretty bad for you sometimes, because on occasion you might actually just miss with this and just mill like all non-permanent cards, and then you got nothing. Whereas with the Say Its Name, even though it mills 1 less card, you're always guaranteed something. And I think that's just very important because hitting your land drops in this deck is just something you cannot afford to miss, especially not hitting an untapped one. And then we also have 7 more cards to interact with our opponent outside of this Duress, which is the 4 Bitter Triumph and 3 Drag to the Roots. Bitter Triumph is just an amazing card. You've seen it played a lot in Pioneer, especially in the Phoenix deck in the black version. And it's really our main way to be able to get rid of Valgavoth Terror Eater out of our hand. because there's just no other way to put this in the graveyard from hand realistically, and it's just super efficient. Like I noted, if you have the Terror Eater on field and you have a Bitter Triumph, you could remove their best card and then just replay it in the same turn, since it would be exiled by Valgavoth's effect. So that's really good. And then Drag to the Roots, I was playing 2 of this, now I'm playing 3, because this deck just can very easily turn on Delirium early, and the fact that this card can target any permanent is really insane in a very diverse metagame, because we can interact with our opponent's oppressive artifacts or enchantments or planeswalkers all in one card, and it's going to cost 2 more often than not. So I just wanted to have another copy of this, and I'm citing the 4th copy for a reason, because this card is just great in the matchups where you need it. Finally, we have 2 copies of Demonic Council. I was playing 3 of these, and then I just realized I just wanted to have more room for interaction, and I wanted to have another like untapped land, just because, as I noted and as you'll see, that just is very important. But I think you could play more than 2 copies or side another one in a slower matchup. This card is insane in this deck, because very frequently, if we get lucky, we can turn on Delirium by turn 2. And once you have Delirium, this becomes 2 copies of any card in your deck, which is really impactful for when you're comboing. There's a lot of situations where, like, okay, I had a Say Its Name, I milled 1 copy, I go Demonic Council, I add another Say Its Name, I play it, and now I'm going to add back something like a Valgavoth's Faithful, and then I'm also just going to get a free Ultinac from my deck. So it kind of just increases the overall consistency of this card, Say Its Name, being a combo piece. And that's really nice, or it can get you access to either of these 2 pieces of interaction or Duress. I've had that come up quite a bit. So it kind of just gets you whatever you want. And I've just found that Duress is a necessity, because the number one reason not to play this deck is because you lose to people who are playing like Graveyard Hate or Sunfall, because Sunfall exiles all of our creatures, and if they're exiling our Valgavoth, they're not paying for the ward and we just can't get it back. That really sucks. So I just feel like the main deck Duress was necessary to try to get those cards out of their hand, because especially in game 1, if you remove like their 1 of or 2 of from their hand that outs the Valgavoth without targeting it, it's very unlikely that they have another main deck way to get around this card, and that can sometimes just steal the game. Also, just considering that since we don't really put creatures on the board until like turn 4, turn 5 sometimes, there often ends up being a lot of dead pieces of interaction in our opponent's hand. So sometimes just duressing their 1 card that's actually proactive for them just hurts them way more than us by a landslide. And also, since we have a lot of like even costed cards, turn 3 and turn 1 or even turn 5 sometimes are very weird, where it's like I have an additional mana and I have nothing to do. So the Duress just fits very well into the curve. And then we also have 3 copies of Fountain Port Bell. I just recently cut this down to 3 instead of 4. Maybe I'll change that. And the reason is because I just wanted another opportunity to top deck an untapped land in the late game to be able to guarantee I can actually reanimate on time. But Fountain Port's really good because it's a permanent, and it's a permanent type that only the Swarm Weaver possesses. So it gets your Delirium very quickly, and also just helps you build up your card types for your Squirming Emergence. And since we have that leftover odd mana quite a bit of the time, it's free relatively most of the time. When you draw multiples, it can kind of suck, and that's also why I was like, I want to try cutting one, but I might put this back up to 4. But this card's actually, this is the first deck I've ever seen this card be viable in, and I think that's really cool because it just looks like a terrible card. And when you play this on turn 1 and put a swamp on top of your deck, your opponent's like, oh, this is a free one, and then you get a turn 4 Valgavoth, and they're just like, oh fuck, I lose. And then also we're playing a total of 22 lands. Yeah, I ended up cutting one of the Fountain Port Bells because these are basically just lands. And then I cut something else. Maybe it was the 3rd Demonic Council just because I wanted another land. I just feel like hitting untapped lands is so important. And we don't really have access to good premium untapped lands in standard currently. Maybe that'll change, but for the time being, that is a pretty big issue. And I was playing 2 copies of the Cottage, which is the green-black dual from Wild's Veldrain that allows you to animate it and create a 4/4 attacker and, get a food token. And then I just realized, like, it's so prohibitive to draw a tapped land in the late game, combined with the fact that if you're in the late game, you should have a ton of things to do with your mana already. So I just never found a situation where I needed the Restless Cottage, so I decided to cut it and replace it with more basics. But you can do with that what you will. And then also, I'll talk a little bit about the side deck briefly. I'm not saying this is perfect, but this is where I'm at currently. So I decided to put in 3 Dreams of Steel Oil. This is kind of just like the safest card you can put in my opinion, because the #1 counter to this deck is Tranquil Throwback. This card is very common, and it honestly just screws us over so hard that we can't come back. And so, like, if you don't know what the other guy is playing, and he preemptively scoops, but he has green mana, I'm definitely just going to, like, throw this card in, because getting that card out of their hand just means we have another chance to actually win the game. Likewise, with the Duress, to get rid of Sunfall and other cards that just, like, straight up screw us. So that's why I am citing a 4th Duress as well. You could probably cut down on one of these two. I'm just not really sure what cards I want to be playing in the side deck yet. So that's what we are here to find out today. And then probably the MVP of the side deck, something I'm certain of, is Malicious Eclipse. This card is amazing, and it's actually so needed in this deck, and synergizes so well because we're not really being that interactive in the early portions of the game. And one of the most prevalent decks in the format is the white decks that are using cards like Enduring Innocence, which is the enchantment creature from Duskmourn that allows you to draw a card every time you play a 2-power creature. And then they also play all of those enchantment talents that do a similar thing. So being able to exile cards like that so they don't get their effect and lose their value is really relevant, as well versus the Prowess deck, it's fine, and also versus the Rabbits deck, which has at least been popular on Arena. I'm also playing 2 copies of Tranquil Throwback. This card is pretty good in our deck since we can reanimate it. You know, so if we need to answer artifact enchantments or graveyard hate, this is one that I side deck in quite frequently. But there's definitely a couple other things you could play in the slot. I just wanted to try it because dinosaurs are based and creatures are really good in this deck. And then I also have 1 Deadly Cover-Up for the graveyard matchups. One advantage to this deck is because we have the Demonic Council, and you could play 3 Demonic Council. There is a big opportunity for you to play utility 1-ofs in the side deck and the main deck. Since you have a tutor that can access any of those cards, it leaves you more open spaces in your side deck to cover a wider array of matchups. And that's why I'm playing a lot of like 1-of cards or low copies of cards. So just wanted to cover that for anyone who was thinking about that. That is a big advantage to this deck. And, you know, I was having success with the Demonic Council at 3. I just got tilted and found anecdotal evidence that I just wasn't hitting my land, so I wanted to put in another land. And then also, I'm playing 1-of Terror Tide for the same reason, for the matchups where this is just a better AoE. And then also, I have the 4th Drag to the Roots in here because this is just a good overall answer to threats that my deck can't easily interact with, and as well an Urgent Necropsy. This card is literally insane. This card is probably one of the most based cards I've played with in a long time. This card just does so much since our deck can easily collect evidence. But against like decks where like the Elspeth Planeswalker is really prevalent right now, and as well the Caretaker's talent. So if you're able to like get rid of both of those and a creature, I mean, that's just a +3. You're just winning the game, right? And then I also have 1 Virtue of Persistence. Pretty good card against some of the slower matchups where you can revive things. And as well, like, this is a card I like quite a bit against the Prowess deck, just because the life gain is the difference between you losing or dying. And that might be a reason to play multiple copies of this card. I'm not sure. I just want to try things out and find out what works. Because oftentimes with the Prowess decks, their lethal is either exact or like 1-over. So the 2 life really does matter. And so I was main decking 1 copy of this before to be able to tutor it, but I'm just trying new things out, so maybe things will change. And we also have a Nissa Ascendant Amethyst for some artifact enchantment interaction as well. But that's what we've got going on right now. If you guys have any opinions about different cards that you should try out in the side deck or utility 1-ofs in the main deck, let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, let's get into the goo. All right, let's get into game number 1 here. I believe in the Reanimate, brother. All right, this is kind of a sussy Baka hand, but the Fountainport Bell is going to be able to save us here. So turn 1, I'm going to be able to go for the Bell, set up the Forest on top of the deck, so we have both sources. A little bit unfortunate, we drew the Ultinac. That's like pretty much the main card that you're not looking to see, but at the same time, Or I mean, if you have a way to mill cards with the Altenac, it becomes pretty beneficial. And that is a reason to play multiples, because the effect to discard and return a land from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, I mean, that's just a rampant growth. And if you can loop that when your opponent, like, has no way to interact with you, that can win you the game. All right, so we have a tough decision to make here. I think I just want to impend the Overlord here, because I like to get this guy out as soon as possible. Okay, well, we milled forward on land, so that's good. That's the risky thing about doing this turn 2. Although I think it is the best thing to do if you have it, just to get its impend down as fast as possible. Sometimes you miss and you don't get anything, but you're going to get a card back later, and you're turning on your Delirium for stuff like the Swarm Weaver. So I think it's legitimately worth it. But this can't add back a land, which is very sus. So good thing we got lucky and high rolled. All right, so this is an interesting position. I do kind of need a land. I'm going to start off with the Duress and then probably say its name, I guess. Hopefully we mill a land here off the say its name. Okay, well, this was a really bad Duress. I don't know if this is good or bad because we know our opponent, like, has nothing to do against us. But we're removing a Shoot the Sheriff, which, like, does not impact our deck in any way. One of the reasons why Valgoth's Faithful is such a good card in this deck is because when you play it, your opponent, if they don't counter it, they don't have priority to remove it from the battlefield until you activate the ability, if that is your next action. And if you do that, it gets sacrificed as a cost, which means your opponent can't use any of their interaction to stop you from reanimating a Valgoth the Terror Eater. And that's one of the reasons you can play a card that's so slow like that. So we milled a Valgoth Terror Eater, which is kind of nice. Unfortunately, I took Delirium out of my graveyard by adding this back. But I think I just can't afford to miss a land drop here. He's going to flash in the Fairy Mastermind, sure. Attacks for 2, maybe drop down. And he's going to go Caustic Bronco. Okay. We get a Surveil land, a little bit late here. Unfortunately, I don't have Delirium, which makes this really sus. Because now I'm going to take a lot of damage from this Caustic Bronco. Or I just do this, and I just, like, I don't care about the Death Touch. I think I just have to do this. I guess the Death Touch doesn't matter that much. Like, I'm still getting bodies, which means the Fairy Mastermind just can't attack here. Drops down the Archfiend of the Dross. Really need to get interaction for that. Yeah, this card is really good right now. A lot of people were using that in the World Championship. So, like, by using the Fountain Port Bell, I can turn on my Delirium. I think I want to just go Underground Mortuary. There is something to be said about just, like, holding this as, like, a bait for our opponent. Damn. Yeah, that's really unfortunate because, like, I do really want this card, but I'm kind of cucking myself by milling it. And I have no lands in the grave to add back with Altenac. I think I have to put it in the grave. Interaction? Okay. That's not interaction, which is unfortunate. I can use it to search for something, though. How many permanents do we have? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we just have to get a Valgoth's Faithful here. I think we have to get this. We have the lands to do it, and if we don't die here, we're going to be in a really good position. He does have enough permanents to be able to interact with it, though, which is scary. But we're also going to get back the Overlord of the Baelmerk during our end step, which there's something to be said about that. Because then we're pressuring with 2 big boys. Interesting. Okay. He's going to kill this. I kill his Fairy Mastermind. He keeps the Archfiend. Oh, he's not doing that. Okay. That was interesting. Why would he not kill the Swarm Weaver? He would just get rid of more permanents on my battlefield. And I would lose more life. Gonna try to give the Dross to me? I don't think you can do that. Yeah, I don't think that's something you can do. I mean, I'm just gonna hope that he can't answer this. If he has like an edict, he has an edict. This guy's probably like, hold up.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So what's actually kind of nice here is we get back the Overlord. So if he decides to remove the Valgavoth, I'm definitely keeping this, which means I can get back the Faithful and just loop it. If we draw any piece of interaction here, it's going to be so huge, because then I could, like, steal his Dross. Or, what would be insane is because this is a demon. So if I'm able to top deck into Drag to the Roots, I could remove his Unholy Annex, steal it, and then I could just activate its ability. And then I'd be gaining life, which would be gross. Okay. So he just gave me 9 life, and I get a Caustic Bronco. That's really cool. Let's go! Game number 1. Believe in the Terror Eater. I feel like when Duress is, like, the best card in the format, that should tell you that Magic is not being played the way that Richard Garfield intended. Like, fighting for the board doesn't matter if Duress is, like, the best thing to do. It just means that people are basically playing, like, modern Hearthstone, which is genuinely, like, not as fun. Let's go. 1 and done, baby. The Valgavoth Terror Eater takes another victim. All right, this hand doesn't have any starters, but we have a Duress, so I'm going to keep. Legitimately, with this deck, I don't think you really care about how you can win the game. You just care about, like, can I slow down the game long enough to where I know I just outvalue the other player? Because, like, the only deck that outvalues this deck is the Domain deck. Okay, he's playing blue-black mid-range, and he has no Duress targets. Are you kidding me?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
What the fuck is this guy's hand? I'm honestly not a big fan of Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. I just don't think that's really that good of a card. Gix Yawgmoth Praetor is kind of just a worse version of Glissa. Like, Glissa just has a lot of utility, and that card doesn't. I guess I can discard a land to get Delirium and also my permanent count up. Should I discard or should I take? I think I need to pay. It's kind of dicey because it's like he's going to play this Shouldered, so I almost just have to like hold up the mana to answer that next turn. Oh my gosh, that was an amazing top deck. Not because like we're in any position to play it, but because I have a Bitter Triumph and that was like the best card to discard with it. He's going to play a Shouldered. At least I assume he's going to play a Shouldered. Shouldered is still, like, one of the best cards in the format. Card's just broken. Okay, sure. If he doesn't play Shouldered, I'll just cash grab during the end step. Try to find a Valgoth's Faithful. That's probably the mood. Do you slam the Shouldered? He slams the Shouldered. Okay. Well, I'm forced to do this. We top deck the Swarm Weaver. We don't have Delirium. I think I'll just go for a cash grab here. Well, actually, if I just play the Swarm Weaver, it gives me, like, 2 things that can trade away with Fairy Mastermind. Like, you don't actually need to have Delirium to play this card. And that's something I sometimes forget. Because, like, it feels like a card that if you don't have Delirium, it's terrible. But, like, with cards like Fairy Mastermind, I just need to stop him from attacking. And he's inclined to, like, remove this, which means most of the time when I play this card, I usually get to keep at least 1 token. He's just going to pass? Okay, cool. Well, I can go ahead and do this. I get a land. Okay. I have 1 Say Its Name in the bin. If I'm just a dirty high roller, we just hit double Say Its Name here. That is a question we must answer for ourselves. Am I that guy? Apparently, I'm not that guy. That kind of sucks. So I do have 5 in the bin, which means I can revive something next turn. I also have 5 mana, so I can just, like, hard play this. He kills this. I use my Emergence. I can buy it back. And then I can also Harvester. Bro is hard playing an Urtai. That seemed kind of bad. Oh, wait, that's huge. Oh, my gosh. Wait, that's actually huge. So this is what we do. We go combat, attack for 1. He takes it. Taking the bait. We love to see it. Activate ability. Reduce his Preacher to 2 HP. Then we can go Squirming Emergence. And then we can buy back the Harvester, activate effect, and we just full AoE. Holy shit, that card's insane. Dude, I've never done that. That was insane. Wow. On the boat. It is what it is, baby. How do you come back from that? Like, your honor has just been disgraced. Imagine next turn we play this Say Its Name, mill another Say Its Name, and we just Ultinac for free and add back, like, anything we want. Okay, that was insane. Wow, okay. I kind of just want to hold this drag to the roots. Alright, that wasn't great. But I'll buy back the Swarmweaver. Maybe it was correct to just, like, add back a land. Okay, he's going Fairy Mastermind. I kind of just want to kill that now. Yeah, I just want to kill that now, because he could have a counter. I know people like this sometimes play negate and stuff. He's going to go Preacher. Okay. He just passes. We get another Swarmweaver. I mean, I might as well play one of these. Like, why not? Yeah, I think it was correct to get the lands instead of adding back this. Because, like, this just adds that back anyway. Oh, that's disgusting. Bro, don't top deck removal. Oh my gosh.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
You're so gross, bro. Oh my gosh, why? Wait, mill me? Mill me? Mill my say its name, please. Mill me? Yes, he's milling me. Oh my gosh, he had to say its name. You're kidding me.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
He literally just gave me a say its name. Are you kidding me? Do I want to kill this? Because then I get a Swarmweaver? I'm pretty sure if I block this and it dies, I think he still gets the effect. I don't know. I get a Fountain Pour Bell. That's pretty ass. But I think I just do this. Alright, this is a pretty close game. I want to attack with this, but if he has 2 removal spells, I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. Bro, if he activates this and gets my Valgavoth Terror Eater, I'm going to be so pissed. I don't get why he played the Urtai, neither do I. I think it was really bad. Oh my gosh, he's doing it. Okay, he gets a Valgavoth Faithful. Nice, nice. Yeah.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
Good play, buddy. Good play. I respect it. Not a lot of people would have went for that play. That was a ballsy play, sir. If I attack with everyone, is that just game? Because this has Death Touch Trample. So, like, he has to block this with something. What is he reviving, though? Shouldered? I think I need to rip this. That was insane. That was insane. Wow. I think he's just dead. Let's go. The Hard Ripper, baby. This deck is nice. Yeah, get that Urtai out of here, son. This guy looks like he's just playing the bad version of Kai Buddha's deck. I'm not even gonna lie. This looks like just like the bad Kai Buddha special. Okay, this is a more grindy matchup. That card's pretty good. I mean, Harvester of Misery is also pretty good. Like, I think my deck is actually just good against this guy. I could maybe be, like, a little bit greedy. Put in, like, one of these. I feel like the Duress is just so important for the graveyard hate, though. The thing about Duress is it just stops, like, all the sideboard hate against me. I could have, like, maybe taken out the Demonic Councils. I don't know. Because, like, the game was going pretty slow. But maybe that's just because I, like, slowed him down. I don't know. And we were on the play. Oh, this is a 1-lander, but it has a Duress. And if I draw a land, I'm just insane. I have 2 chances to draw either a land, or I could draw into... I'm mulling. Fuck! Why? Why?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That was so ass. I don't think that could have been any more ass. Yeah, this is going to be rough. I don't think we can win. Mulliganing in this deck feels so bad. Like, actually just feels terrible. Yeah, that was an insanely bad mulligan. Oh, okay. This hand is actually good against Deep Cavern Bat. Because it's like, what are you taking? My Overlord? I still say its name. And then I can drag to the roots you eventually. If he has another bat, he takes drag to the roots. If he doesn't have another bat... Oh, wait, he's taking that over the Overlord? Are you kidding me?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Either he has another bat, or that was just fundamentally bad. Okay, that was just insane. Okay. Don't mind me. Now, if he has another bat, he's in a weird position. Because he has to, like, bat this, but I have a Valgavoth Faithful. I think I just have to bell here. I draw into a say its name. That's pretty big. And that gets me a forest. It should probably be a swamp. Okay, so if I can remove his deep cavern bat, I can use this council to get a third say its name and get a free ultinac. Oh my gosh, no.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I think I'm supposed to take out the duress. That is brutal. Holy shit, that's so brutal. Dude, that was actually police brutality. Like, this guy must support defunding the police, which is something I'm not about, man. I think I'm going to kill that. If he has another one, he punishes us. But if he has a counterspell, he also punishes. And I'm going to assume it's more likely for him to draw one of like 5 counterspells rather than drawing a second copy of a legendary in his deck. He might only play like 2 copies of this because I don't think this card's that great. Like, it's okay, but it's kind of just a worse version of Glissa that you're forced to play because you're actually playing blue and not green like a based individual would. I think I'm just getting another drag to the roots. I could get a say its name. I'm just getting another drag to the roots. Because he might have like a Shouldered. If he doesn't have another deep cavern bat, I might be able to come back. Unless he side decks into an edict. We did play against that one guy earlier. Oh, he had another one. You're kidding me.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
You're fucking kidding me. He actually just has another one? Dude, this guy is such a dirty high roller. Someone get the judge involved. I need to get on the line with the head judge, please. To be fair, it's actually crazy how competitive this is when I went down to 5. I went down to 5, and somehow I still have a chance to play the game. That's ridiculous. Like, because this deck is not good at doing that. So I get this guy back, and if he doesn't have an immediate answer, I might get one more turn, which could give me back an Overlord. And if he doesn't kill me and waste all of his mana killing my Valgavoth, I could do it again. No Oblos Edict. No Oblos Edict. Hard plays a Shouldered. Okay. Oh my gosh, if he just passes, this is insane. Okay, he just gave me a Dark Slick Shores. That's kind of nice. Please, no counter. No Oblos counter. No Oblos counter! Why does he have that?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Okay, well, that just fucked me. Man, that really fucked me. If I gain back 9, does that help me? I don't think it really does. Okay, is that good? No, that's not really good. Well, it would have answered that guy, which gets me back my say its name, but that costs so much mana. I think I might just die. What if I just attack? No, I can't attack. Yeah, I think that might have cooked us. The fact he had a counter, because if I would have been able to remove his Shouldered, I would have been able to pay life to do it myself, and then I would have been in a good position to just replay his Shouldered and just gain back life. But now he's got like enough resources to just remove it. I could have maybe just held my Valgavoth Faithful. I don't know. Like, I don't want to die. We're kind of damned if we do, damned if we don't. I really want the life. I'm thinking about blocking. I don't know. I'm taking it. He already has 10 bajillion cards. If I get back to my turn and I'm able to use either the Overlord or the Valgavoth Faithful, I might be able to come back. I could get another Valgavoth Terror Eater. Or if I just get a removal. If I can get a removal and replay his Shouldered, I'm back. Yeah, so milling the cards here is really important. Okay, that was huge. I think that was actually huge. What? This guy has no targets for duress? What the fuck is this guy's deck? I buy back my Harvester. I replay his bat. Okay. Kind of big, kind of big. He's actually doing that? Okay. That's actually insane. Okay. I look at his hand. What does this do? Think I'd get rid of that guy. If I was able to combo this and do a full AoE, that'd be so gross. I could just say its name and hope to mill another. I think I'm just going to get back Swarm Weaver. The fact I'm still in this game is ridiculous. But it really helps that our opponent has just drawn like 5 lands in a row. And the fact we picked up 3 Death Touch creatures is nice. Okay, he gives me a free cut down. That's actually insane. Plays Valgavoth, sure. Attack with someone, please. I would love a good trade. We would love a good trade this time of year, sir. We love a good trade, please. Yes, yes, yes. Nice. We love that, man. I love that for you, man. This has Death Touch. I pick up the Shouldered. Kind of don't want him to draw cards. Do I really care about this Deep Cavern Bat thing? No, not really. You get a Mockingbird. I get a Shouldered. Wow, this is actually way more of a grindy game than I thought. And I think it's just because this guy's deck's bad. Oh my gosh, that was disgusting. Are you kidding me? That was actually disgusting. Wow. So I go to combat. So now I get back his guy. That's insane. Well, I'm going to pay life to play the Shouldered because that sounds good. Do I want to pay life to do that? I don't know. I think I want to do this. Okay, that sounded really cool. That was really cool. Wow, okay. I have realistically 3 mana to play here, so I'm just going to do this. Play this guy. Mill a say its name because I'm a jit. I almost milled a say its name. It was not a say its name. And then I'll just add back this guy. So I can just have like a guy. I'm going to play your Valgavoth because this card's busted. I like paying life for things. Now I have 3 real blockers. And I also have a Bitter Triumph, which can just give me another card of his to play. It's okay, buddy. You're just going to lose all that life you gained. It's fine. It's fine, sir. You're just going to lose all the life you gained. I am in control of Shouldered. You know? This is what we call Shouldered control, baby. Why spend your own money to craft your own Shouldered when you could just use another person's Shouldered? Okay, you're going to cut down my guy, sure. Bro, do you think I care about that? I'm not playing with my deck anymore. I'm playing with your deck, brother. I'm playing with your deck, brother. You're going to go for the throat, your own Shouldered, okay? I'm going to replay that Shouldered, buddy. I'm going to replay that one. That's a good one. That's a goodie but oldie. I'm going to have to replay that one. Liliana, okay. Okay. Oh, wait, why does he get that? It would be put into an opponent's graveyard. Oh, it's because I controlled it. Okay. Do I want to discard? Fuck it, I believe in my top decks. Oh, well, no, I have a go for the throat, though. This match has gone on so long. Does he sack all 3 permanents to kill my Terror Eater? No, he just makes another one of those guys. Okay. Cool beans, cool beans. Kill his Flyer. Kill his Lily. I'm killing him with his own Lily. Lily control, baby. Lily control. I doubt this duress does anything, but I don't have anything to use with my own mana, so why not? His hand is all lands. That's hilarious. Alright, buddy. Give me one of those guys. I'll take one of those guys. And you know what? I'm a little bit ballsy. I'll take one of those guys. Does he have another animation land? I don't think he does. This is such a close game. I might lose due to time. He has 2 potential animation lands here. Oh my gosh, that's so stupid. I need to top deck a big boy. Papa needs a big boy. Would you like to trade Preachers of the Schisms? I'll get back both. That's fine. Yeah, give me a Preacher of the Schism. I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll take one of those, buddy. Oh, that's a Squirming Emergent. That's so based. Bring back, like, Overlord of the Baelmerk. I have 24 cards in deck. Let's go to combat here. Get that. Revive back this dude. Say its name, say its name. Oh my gosh, we hit. I'm Himothy, we hit, baby. Let's go. Get back that. Replay this. Ayo. Say its name. Altanak, the thrice called. Go. Don't mind me, sir. I'm just going to get an Altanak, the thrice called here. It is what it is. It is what it is, buddy. I'm just Altanacking the thrice called. And then I'm going to make you discard a card because I'm a fair and just man. I'm a fair and honorable man. You're going to get to revive one creature from either player's graveyard. And I'm just going to take your Underground River. Boop. I have an Underground River now. Let's go. Underground River OP. I love this deck, man.
Congratulations, you get anything you want from your deck. I love that deck, man. It's so expensive, man.
Okay, that was really gay. I'm not going to lie. I've met some cool gay people in my life. This guy was not one of them. Okay, play your Shouldered. I get it. You're a little bit fruity. It is what it is. Shoulder is only cool when I'm the one who's taking your Shouldered. I don't even need to play my own Shouldered. I just want to take your Shouldered. Okay. I like how much life this guy's gained me. And my opponent is still not being able to answer it. It's game 2. Bro, what is your side deck? Like, did you not side deck anything against this card? It's like turn 20. Oh, he's going double shouldering. Oh, no, he's going for that guy. What the hell? Okay. Well, that was ass. We can make him sack something here. I might as well do that. Like, why not? This isn't really doing anything for me. What do you want to give me? Mockingbird again? Okay, he's gonna give me that guy. Cool. Cool beans, dude. Well, I have 18 cards in deck still. That's crazy. Ayo. Get that guy back. How would you like to block, sir? This is like almost lethal, which is funny. How would you like to block, buddy? Okay, I'll take a Shouldered. If you're allowing me the privileges to have a Shouldered, I appreciate you, bro. Put him at 1 HP. Okay. The Shouldered for lethal? Oh, wait. No, my Valgavoth died. I have to revive it. Okay. I gotcha. My bad, man. Valgavoth. I missed the line there for a second. I was like, what should I do? I was like, oh yeah, I'll just revive it again because I can do that. That's really cool. What would you like to do, buddy? You can get back anything you want from my grave. Just not Valgavoth the Terror Eater. That's fine. You know, you just can't get back a Valgavoth the Terror Eater. It's okay. You're at 1 HP. This is what the people came here to see, baby. Should I have cut down first? There was nothing I could target with cut down. The only legal target was this guy. The total attack and defense have to equal 5 or less, and everything on his board was 6. Yeah, this is like the craziest game I've ever had. I think just like in all of Arena. I'm not even slow playing, but I'm down to 6 minutes because of how like interactive this has been. Dude, I went down to 1 HP like 5 turns in a row, and I've gotten back up over and over again. All right, I'm gonna give it an emo. Rats. Rats from the bay. Believe in the rats. Sorry, buddy. Unfortunately for you, sir, the Rat Patrol is here to take you out. He's gonna try to deck me. That dirty little rascal. Okay. Good thing I have this dumbass token you gave me. I mean, you're just dead, dude. It is what it is. Sometimes you just die. It's fine. Okay. You dirty rascal, you. I didn't want to have to do this to you, but I'm going to kill you with your own Acklezotz, buddy. Let's go. The Valgavoth Terror Eater strikes again. I don't shoot and miss, maybe. Aim and fire down the barrel. Believe in the Terror Eater, baby. Always take your opponent's Shouldered. Fuck Shouldered till the day I die. All my homies hate Shouldered. Everybody has like one friend that hates Shouldered because everybody just hates Shouldered. It's probably like the worst card that's ever been added in the past 5 years. Wow, that was really fun. But you know what I just realized? I think the reason I like this deck so much is because it's actually just way more fun to win using your opponent's cards than your own, right? And for no other reason than just like punishing your opponent for putting these absurdly busted, most hated cards back at them in their face. Like, I'm not playing Shouldered because I'm a respectable guy. Like, I'm based. Everyone knows that shouldered is cringe. Unless you're in the World Championship, you have no right to be like lowering other people's fun with a shouldered. So I have no bigger joy than making that guy feel like shit for putting in his own shouldered. All right, starting off on the play here. You love to see it. And this is a really sussy baka hand. I don't know if I can afford to keep this, but I do have my sources. And I get a surveil and a draw. It's a little bit slow, but I think I'm going to risk it. Out of here. Out of here with that one, baby. Ooh, he's playing Gruul Prowess. That is like the worst matchup for us. My hand has no interaction. Maybe I should have thought about this a little bit more. Okay, bro, you're playing red-green. There's no counters in your deck. I swear, every time you reveal the fountain port to the other player, they're probably just like, what the fuck? Why is he doing that? At least I put a land in the grave with the Ultinac, which can allow us to ramp. That's something. I need interaction, though. No interaction, but that is a mill card. Yeah, that might have been like the best time to top deck this. I think I want to surveil afterwards. Like, because I want to see what my draw is. Gross. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? 7 cards in the grave and I don't have Delirium? What?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That's actually so low roll for this deck. I would say about like 60% of the time at least, you hit Delirium on turn 2. I need an answer so bad, bro. I need an answer so bad. So I guess if he kills the Swarm Weaver, I can at least Demonic Council, go add a Drag to the Roots, and like answer the mouse, which isn't like great, but like it's okay. You have a Monstrous Rage? Are you a Dirty Bread Baker? Do you identify as a Dirty Bread Baker, sir? He's a Dirty Bread Baker.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I should have used my Swarm Weaver. I should have blocked with it. I thought he would remove it, though. Please kill my Swarm Weaver. Please kill it. I know you have the answer. No, he has another Manifold Mouse. Dude, you're such a Dirty Bread Baker. Dude, this guy makes bread in his sleep. This guy provides the bread to McDonald's that's 3 weeks old. This is actually so toxic. Maybe I should put in like a Final Vengeance to be able to tutor. Like, I feel like Final Vengeance would actually be pretty good in this deck. Because I don't care about sacking this, sacking the Bell, or like sacking one of these guys. And it would give us something to do in these hands where it's like, I can tutor, but I don't have enough time. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I mean, even if I out his board, he's just going to hit in for like 3 hasty. So I don't need Demonic Council. I don't need Walk-in Closet. I could cut one of these. I do need this. That card's insane. I do like Duress, because Duress just allows me to take out their best pump spell. You know what? I think I'm probably taking out a Drag to the Roots to play double Virtue. Because Virtue is just like so much better than Drag to the Roots. Drag to the Roots is good against matchups where they have things that aren't killed by like low impact spells, like Virtue of Persistence. Virtue of Persistence also can be searched off of Cash Grab, which does make it a little bit more interesting in this deck. Yeah, I think I'm fine with this. All right, starting off on the play. Hand is a lot less sus this time. I have interaction if he pumps, and I also have a Cash Grab. I guess I just keep. Okay, he's mulling. Nice. So I could go with the Fountain Port on 1, but I think the Surveil is just too impactful. I'm probably just milling that. Because the thing about Cash Grab is, in this matchup, I can hold it up and do it on his end step, but if he like puts a threat on the board, like the Manifold Mouse, I can Bitter Triumph instead, which is pretty relevant. He has no 1-drop. We draw into a Malicious Eclipse. That's insane. Okay. I play the black. I just pass and I Cash Grab on his instep. I probably Bitter Triumph something first. Oh, he's not playing a creature? That's really bad for him. I don't even think you can win if you don't develop a creature on the first 2 turns of the game with this deck. Unless you're playing the Leyline of Resonance build and you start with a Leyline. Maybe you can, but without that, I just don't really see it. Okay, I milled a second Say Its Name. That's actually insane. Like, out of any matchup you could have an Ultinac, this is probably the best one. Because it's, like, relatively difficult for them to answer. I'll add the non-Pain land. Pain lands are just bad against this person. I could go with the Surveil land, but I think I need to hold up the Bitter Triumph in case he goes for a push. Play the Fountain Port Bell. No effect. Although it would have been funny if we went Mortuary and just milled a third say its name. Oh, he's playing a Questing Beast? That's weird. Yeah, that's really weird. Okay, play another one. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna Malicious Eclipse that. Get another bell. That's pretty bad. Oh, we get a Duress, though. That's insane. Wow, that's actually insane. So I go for the Duress. Look at his hand. See if we want to Eclipse. Bro's responding with a Snakeskin Veil. That's so funny. Okay. Okay, yeah. That's actually way better for us. Because now we can just Eclipse next turn. Because we're not going to die. And the Eclipse just banishes everything. So it's like hella hype. I think I like that card. It does things. I don't think this guy can win. Like, double Eclipse is just too toxic. Okay. Okay. Ow. We're at 13. He has nothing in hand. I play this. Decline. Activate. Okay, that's really good. And then we just Eclipse here, and that's just GG. Rats from the Bay. Oh, nice, man. Good job rebuilding your board, man. That's really cool. My friend has that card. He said it's pretty good. And so is this one. Ha ha ha.
Gotcha, bitch.
Believe in the Eclipse, baby. The Lunar Eclipse is on its way. Okay. I need to, like, top deck any action. The fact that guy's last two cards were both action is ridiculous. Because we looked at his hand, so we know that he top decked both of those. Okay, that is something. Please don't miss. Oh my gosh, we hit the Swarm Weaver. And we hit the third say its name. You're kidding me. Let's go. Altanak, come to me, brother. Believe. Say its name. Altanak is here. Never fear. I love this deck, man. Woo!
I fucking knew it. Oh!
This deck is just so fun, man. I love this deck. Maybe I should have even more hate for this deck. This deck just seems really good against us. Yeah, on the draw is just so difficult to beat this deck. Okay, so we have a Bitter Triumph and a Virtue. That's probably as good as it gets. Like, even with those two cards, I don't think we have a great chance to beat this person. But that's about as good as it can be. I think there's, like, some merit to just, like, playing this on turn one. But I think just, like, hitting the land drops is impactful enough that I need to do this. I don't think I need that right now. Because I can play it, like, 3 lands for a bit. Just gets in for 1, and he's just gonna pass. Oh my gosh, and we top deck the Harvester. You're kidding me.
I fucking knew it. Oh!
Well, I'm really glad that I surveilled. Wow. Kind of just want to hold this. He doesn't have Druid during the instep. Emberheart Challenger, okay. Ah, this is so weird. Here's a Snakeskin Veil. That's so gross. You're so gross, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? I gained some life. If I draw another land, it's huge. Okay, that is not the correct land, but it is a land. I'm kind of risking it by doing this, but if I hit, I hit. But if I Mortuary and I get, yeah, that's tough. Okay, I get Delirium. I'm actually insane. Do I Harvester here? Okay, if he end steps, goes for that guy, I'm gonna Harvester. Yeah, he's going Questing Druid. Respond in the end step to do this. But also, if he doesn't kill me next turn, okay. Saying that he's not gonna kill me is being, like, very generous. But if he doesn't kill me, though, then I can go for a Harvester and just AoE the board. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna risk it. If he has another Snakeskin, he's just that guy. Plays Emberheart. Okay. I really just want to take all this and go for a cash grab. Gosh. Oh, that's so risky. That's too much damage. I need to draw land here. Untapped land. Untapped land for the W.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
The hype is real. Untapped Johnny is back at it again with another banger.
Ah. Ding, 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 ding.
Well, it's a nice question, Druid, you got there, buddy. It'd be a shame if there was a Harvester on the field. Oh, but if he has a monstrous emergence or a monstrous rage, that'd be so scary. I think I just need to play this and just pray his last card isn't monstrous rage. I milled 2 say its name. That's funny. So obviously I just get this back. I just play this. If he attacks and I chump my Harvester, I will be able to buy it back, and it's likely I come back here. I mean, I have a way to reanimate my guy. Of course I'm going to do that. Who do you kill here? Not killing that guy. That's funny. He did have a monstrous rage. I knew it. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Wow, this is actually like a really complicated game state for a matchup versus a brain dead aggro player. It's kind of funny. Well, I guess I just do this again. He knew I had this. The fact that the other person doesn't get priority when you use this effect is so ridiculous. Let's go. That one is for everyone who has ever been beaten down by an aggro Timmy. That one was for you and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Wow. This deck is really fun, and it's also just very interesting in the way that the games play out, and it takes a lot of skill. I really like decks that make you think, and so far that's what this deck has felt like. Oh my gosh, he actually did it. If he has a 4th Sunfall, dude, I'm calling the police. I will be forced to call the police. Multiple people, pretty much every person in my family has been a police officer. My dad owned a police equipment company. I know how to call the police. If this guy actually has it, I'm actually calling the police. I don't want to have to do this, but he's forcing my hand. He is forcing my motherfucking hand. He doesn't have a 4th Sunfall. He doesn't have a 4th Sunfall. Alright. See you later, guys.
Ooh, is that indigo?